So go ahead and find an easy seat on your mat. This is my furry friend. She'll be in and out. Easy seat like Sukhasana, maybe legs are crossed. If you have a block, you can place that underneath your hips. Right? Just because our commutes have shortened from work and school doesn't mean that our bodies can adjust any differently. So we want to make sure that this beginning posture is just as easy as we can find it. We want to really ground in and just start to observe everything that's around us. So if you want to close your eyes for a few minutes, you can do that. Palms can be resting on your thighs, maybe face down. That'll help us with our ability to ground, to sink in, and to embrace the space that we have right at this moment. We are working through chaos outside our homes and inside our homes, and the one vehicle that we have to help us work through all this is our breath, the vehicle of our breath. So as your body settles, start to observe the breath that's coming in and out. And know that even though we're all muted here on our screens, that we do have a community breathing around us. So take hold of some of that energy if you need it. But start to feel yourself inhale through your nose. It might start to slow down a little bit. And then just as gently as we inhale, we turn the breath and exhale out through the nose as well. Get a feel for some of those slower, deeper breaths. Mentally, this breath will start to calm us from wherever we came from today. Physically, it will start to ease us from the inside out, bring some mental clarity. It will start to release in spaces that might be holding some tension. Good. Everything will start to soften. And then stay in your seat. Let your eyes blink open really gently. We're going to focus on a little bit of a meditative breath here with some lotus breathing. So how we're going to do this is to bring your palms together at your heart center. Right? And then the idea here is we're going to follow a lotus as it opens and closes with our breath. When we open our lotus, you'll see that your thumb and your pinky stay together, and then we close back down, palms and fingertips together. So find a level space for your hands, and on your next breath in, start to open your lotus as if you're taking everything in around you. And then as you exhale, the fingers will start to come closer together until they touch along with the palm. The idea here is that we are following our breath with our movements. And starting to bring in some meditative movement here with that breath in and out. Yeah, as we all breathe differently at different paces, our lotus will grow open at a different speed than others. So just take a few moments, take a few more breaths, and let everything start to connect. Good, 1 or 2 more rounds. And then settle in again slowly. You can open the eyes if you close them. If you're on a block, go ahead, remove that. We're going to come now down to our sit bones, hands on our knees, and we'll move into a few gentle seated cat and cows. Again, we want to start to invite the body into yogic movement, and that can be a little bit challenging when you're in our home environment or outside of our element. So on your inhale is when we start to bring our heart forward. The gaze may look up gently, and then as you exhale, low back, mid back, shoulders, and chin all start to reach behind you. We are simply following our breath just as we did before with our hands, except now we're incorporating the entire spine. Give yourself another round or two. And then on your next exhale, we'll come back to a neutral spine here. At the top of your mat, come onto the ball mounts of your feet. So we're coming into just a little crouch-like idea here. For some, toe knuckles touch, knees squeeze together. That will help with balance. For others, we might want to keep more distance between our feet. And then as you start to grow into your balance, you may start to bring a hand or two up to your knees. Your shoulders may start to align a little more on top of your hips. And we come back to that breath in and out as slow and steady as we can. This posture can really feel like a reflection of everything around us, right? We're just trying to hold our balance and use our breath to move from one moment to the next. That's all we can do. All right, exhale everything you have. Take a breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Last round here. Big breath in. Breathe it all out. And now we move all the way up to mountain pose. Inhale. Start to straighten the legs. Drop the heels. Shoulders remain over hips. Arms reach tall. Here's our Tadasana, our mountain pose. The belly is strong. We're grounded into our feet. Shoulders are soft. A few breaths to lengthen. And then as we exhale, hands to our heart center, Samastiti. We stand at attention, and once again, come back to that notion of embracing your space. This is what we have. This is what we can use to move from moment to moment, from day to day, from hour to hour, as a community and as ourselves when we need it most. Take a breath in through the nose, and an exhale. Breath in and out. Breathe in fully. Exhale completely. Drop your hands to your sides. Let's move into some half sun A's. With your inhale, bring the arms all the way up overhead. As you exhale, hands come down to the ground, bend the knees, rest belly on the thighs into Ragdoll. So here you may separate your feet a little bit for some more stability. Lift your low belly up and in so you can encourage some fold. And let everything allow to soften over the hips and legs. The neck is soft, the shoulders, the wrists, the fingertips. Some of us like that really easy sway back and forth. Anything to unwind. Breath in. Breath out. On this inhale, halfway lift. Start to bend the knees, lengthen through your spine. Crown of the head reaches forward while the tailbone reaches behind us. And the spine is as flat as we can make it, like we could balance something on top of it. Right? Couple breaths here. You can adjust your hands at any time, bringing them to the shins or just keeping them on the ground. We'll take another inhale. Exhale, forward fold. And 2 more like that with breath. On the inhale, we lengthen and lift. On the exhale, we release forward into our fold. Again, breath in and out. Now we'll grow. Mountain pose. Inhale, press into your feet, lift tall. As you exhale, release gently into your fold. We'll follow that sequence for a few more rounds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, mountain pose, lift, lengthen, reach tall, smile. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more round. Breath in, rise. Breath out, all the way back down. Here we halfway lift with our inhale. And on the exhale, let's come back to our plank pose. First one. Hands under the shoulders, right? Hips maybe shoulder height or slightly lower. When we think plank, we think stiff as a board. Gaze is between the thumbs. Breath is easy. This is how we build heat outside of the studio. Stick with it. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, you can drop the knees, elbows point behind you. Let's lower all the way down. Here we are. Flat to the ground. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Fingertips are light at your sides. And we'll take 3 mini cobras from here. So on the inhale, press into your feet, press into your hips, and lift gently from the low back. As you exhale, lower back down. 2 more times. Follow your breath if that's what's guiding you. And then exhale, we come back down. 1 more round to go. Yeah. Breathe it all out. Good. On your inhale, now let's come up to the knees. Just for a moment, we're in tabletop pose. And now curl the toes under, press into your hands, and let's lift up to downward facing dog. Our first down dog of the class. There's generally a lot of movement that coincides with this, whether it's bending a knee and reaching the opposite heel back. It might be hovering forward to high plank just to get everything feeling like a good normal alignment for you and what you're used to. And everything just comes back to breath. Your inhales are breathing all the way up to your hips. Exhales, breathe out all the way down to the heels. We'll take 2 more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. Breath in. And out. Last round here, inhale. And exhale everything you have. Look at your hands. Take a step forward. We'll inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, mountain pose. Breathe in, root down, rise tall. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. We'll take that 1 more time. Mountain pose. Feel it out as you lift. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, let's step back to plank pose. And from here, we will take a chaturanga. Knees can come down at any time, especially if you're building into your chaturanga. Go ahead and do that a few times first. Take a breath in here, and on your exhale, we lower. Elbows point behind us. On your inhale, tops of feet flip down. Arms straighten. Heart shines forward, upward facing dog. And exhale, come on back down to your downward facing dog. Take a big breath in when you get there. And then release it all. 2 more times. Breath in. And out. Breathe in deep. Let it all out. Look at your hands. Take a step or hop it forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Mountain pose, bring it on up. Exhale, all the way back down. Uttasana or fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, step it back. And then move through whatever feels best for you right now. You can lower halfway, all the way, or no way. Inhale, heart shines forward. Exhale, back to downward dog. 3 breaths, in and out. Breath in and out. Good, fill up. Let it all go. And from here, let's take the right leg up behind us. So imagine you can reach the wall behind you with your flat foot. Right? Start to feel out your balance, trying to maneuver yourself between both hands and your left foot in this case here to keep yourself lifted. Still building a little bit of heat. Let's inhale in 3-legged down dog. Exhale, start drawing your right knee towards your nose. Step your right foot to your right wrist, low lunge. And low lunge, we gotta feel this one out a little bit too, right? Especially if we've been sitting all day or this is our first practice in a while, go ahead and give yourself some flexibility and a little bit of buoyancy to make sure this is feeling okay for you, right? Left heel is lifted, right foot is plastered down into your mat, and your right knee is somewhere above the right ankle. We're moving into a twist here. If you like a block, place that on the inside of the right foot. When you're ready, inhale, right arm lifts tall. So check on your breath here, right? If it feels like a struggle, take your gaze down towards the mat instead of following that right hand. Or you can gaze off towards your side wall as well. There's always an option in our practice, always something that'll work best for us at the right time. Take one more breath in, and then exhale. Right hand comes down to your mat. Set your block aside. Take a breath in. Look forward in your low lunge. And then as you exhale, let's come back to a little pyramid pose. So it's extended pyramid pose. Our right foot is still on the ground. Right leg straightens. We can stay on the ball line of the back foot, or if it feels better to drop that heel, go ahead. Feel this as much as you can here in your right hamstring. And then allow yourself to soften. Breathe over the right leg. Good. One more round of breath here. On your next inhale, start to bend the right knee back to low lunge. On your next exhale, big step. Left foot meets the right. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Let's rise, mountain pose. Lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in deep. Breath out, step back to your plank, decide what you need. You can hold your plank if you like, otherwise lower halfway. On your inhale, shine your heart. On your exhale, back to downward facing dog, breath in. And then open up, sigh it out. Let it go, breath in. And all the way out. One more round here, fill up. Exhale, leave it all. Let's do the left side. Inhale, left leg will lift behind you. Again, we're reaching the heel behind us. Some of us like to lift, that's just fine. Let's see if you can reach it away from the body. Spread your fingers a little bit wider if you need to. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, knee to nose, and then step to your left wrist. Low lunge on the left side. Entire new side. There might be some other adjustments or modifications you want to try. Maybe the right knee will come down on this side. And here we are in low lunge. A few breaths to feel it out, to acclimate. Take this posture for all that it is right here, and then we'll move into our twist. Left hand roots down now onto your mat or the block with an inhale. Right arm lifts. Big and tall, like we're giving the world a hug, because we need it. We all need it. Full breaths as deep as you can make them. Last round. Exhale, left hand comes down to the mat now. If you've lowered your knee, lift it. Take an inhale, look forward. As you exhale, step forward. Breath in, halfway lift. Breath out, we fold. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. All the way up, mountain pose. Exhale to forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, step back to your plank. What do you need? Take it, whatever it is. Lower. Inhale, shine your heart, show your teeth. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. Right away, exhale everything out. Bend your knees. Come on forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Rise tall. Mountain pose. And let's bring our hands to heart center. Stand at attention, embrace your space. Back to breath. Good. On your next inhale, let's come all the way up here. Mountain pose, we're reaching tall. And then chair pose will be next. So you may bring your toes a little bit closer. You may bring a block between your thighs. Then we start to bend gently at the knees and the hips, sinking into our first chair pose here of this practice. Hands at the heart center are an option. You can lift them up and overhead if you do. Palms face each other, biceps away from the ears. And then bring a little bit of love here to that low belly. Draw it up and in. Let it be the biggest support. Be the chair. So cheesy. All right, next inhale, we'll all reach our hands up overhead for chair. Exhale, forward fold. Let's stick with that chair. Again, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, mountain pose. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. Back again. This time we'll move a little bit. Low body stays as is. Find the best stability you have. Inhale, arms come up overhead. And then now as you exhale, draw the elbows behind you. And here we are in an airplane up. Don't be afraid to sit your hips a little deeper, a little lower towards the ground. Next inhale, arms come all the way up overhead. We'll flow that a few times. Exhale, airplane arms behind you. Breath in, arms overhead. Exhale, airplane the arms. Breath in, arms all the way overhead. Exhale, airplane the arms. Just one more to go. Breath in, reach up. And exhale, follow the breath into your fold. Separate your feet, just about hips width distance apart. And then bend your knees a lot. Let's take gorilla pose from here. We'll walk the hands underneath the feet. Find a sense of security here. And then if you want to do a little inhale, like a halfway lift, you can do that. Exhale, just fold into this release. Soften the neck, soften the jaw. Couple more rounds of breath. Good. From here, let's undo our hands from our feet. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. On your inhale, we'll transition to halfway lift. Exhale to the fold. And from here, we'll move into standing split. Start to shift weight over to your right foot. When you're ready, send that left leg behind you. So the right leg turns into a really strong rocky cliff, and our body turns into a waterfall that just cascades over the forward, the fold here. Still working to keep everything in the upper body soft. Good. Take another breath. And now when you're ready, on your exhale, start to bend the right knee. Reach the left toes all the way back. So we've landed back in a low lunge. Drop your left heel. We're setting up warrior one legs. To do that, the back left heel is glued into the mat. When you start to feel ready, we lift the torso off the leg. Find airplane arms behind you. Reach the crown of your head forward. And then to complete the posture, arms will come up all the way overhead. Right knee over the ankle or so. You can adjust your stance at any time, deciding on how secure you feel where you are. And then let's bring the fingertips behind the head. They'll rest right at the nape of the neck here, and then lift your heart. Really baby back bend. Easy does it. Breath flows freely. And then let's come on back to center, arms overhead. Inhale in your warrior one. As you exhale, draw the elbows behind you. Here we are in an airplane arm one more time. And all we do is breathe and feel it out. We'll add some movement here with our breath. Finish your next exhale with your inhale. Warrior one, lift up slowly, steadily. Exhale, dial back, airplane the arms. Two more, breath in. Out. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Back up to warrior one. Pause here. Our next move will be warrior two. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, we pivot our back foot now. Toes aligned with the long side of our mat. Reach the arms forward and back. Go ahead and take a moment too if you need to and just shimmy the shoulders a little bit. We don't usually come into these poses so naturally, so give yourself a few minutes, moments really, to settle in and feel it out. Gaze is soft out in front of you someplace, almost unfocusing on a little point in space in front of you. And then on your inhale, let's reverse. Flip your right palm, reach tall, and then if you want to open up slightly behind you, you can do that. Left hand is gently on your thigh. You're welcome to take a half bind if that feels better. Here to breathe for two more. Good. Last breath in. And then as you exhale, side angle pose. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm just tall to begin with. You can extend by drawing that arm up and over, palm face down. I'll leave the option up to you as to what works today. And then we've got one more flow sequence here. So let's finish our exhale in side angle. When you're ready, inhale, let's reverse. Exhale, side angle pose. We've got 2 more. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle pose. And now we'll inhale to reverse, straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. Pivot your right toes to meet your left toes, and then just bring your hands on your hips for a moment. Let's go ahead and take one more little release of the back bend. Heart and upper rib cage are lifting up out of the body as you gaze upwards. Good. Come back up to center. Now bring your heels inwards a little bit of your toes. We'll keep the hands on the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start bending your knees. We'll come into a little high squat here. So while we're here, letting this work for us from the inside out, let's come back to our prayer hands at heart center, and we'll take about 5 lotus rounds of breath. Take our mind off where we actually are. Right? So when you inhale again, you're opening your lotus real big. Exhale, gently start to close. Palms and fingertips form a round. Just follow your own lungs. Two more to go. Last round. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms tall overhead. Kind of like that first stretch out of bed in the morning. And then on your next exhale, left toes in, right toes out. Come back to warrior 2. Take a breath in, reach tall, reverse your warrior. And as you exhale, we'll bring everything all the way back down. 2 resets. Step back to your high plank. Decide if you need to lower. If you lower, inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. And then we'll move to that other side and see what's going on there. Maybe you observe some differences already in your right side over your left. We'll even you out here shortly. Big breath in. Exhale. Bend the knees, look at the hands, bring it all forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold all the way up. Lift, lengthen, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Standing splits is next. On the left foot, root that in. Left leg stays strong, and when you're ready, the right leg will lift behind you. So keep in mind, this is a forward fold on one leg, right? We're trying to release the nose towards the knee. Always options to play. If you want to do something like that, you can bring hands to the ankle, practice some balance. You can airplane the arms, or you can just hang out and let this be about that energy moving in and out through the nose. Good. One more breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're bending the left knee, reaching the right toes all the way back into our low lunge. Warrior 1 is next, so drop your right heel. Once your feet feel secure, lift your belly off the thigh, hands behind you like airplane. And then eventually we come all the way up. Wrists over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And make sure you give yourself that little bit of room to stay buoyant here in Warrior 1. Oh, it's a good day to breathe. Take an inhale. Exhale, elbows, wrists, fingertips behind you, airplane the arms. Last inhale here. Stay for your breath out, and we'll begin our flow with your inhale all the way up. Warrior one. Exhale, airplane the arms. Warrior one, inhale. Airplane the arms, exhale. One more, breath in, reach tall. Breath out, arms behind you. Warrior one, we hold here, and then warrior two will be the next move. So as you exhale, go ahead and pivot your feet. Find your legs, find your foundation from the ground up, and then let the arms be the icing on the cake here. Hips are open, left knee opens, still buoyant but strong. With your inhale, flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, lift everything up. Right hand can rest behind you. You can also take your half bind. Look where you can breathe. Good. Breath in here in your reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle pose, left forearm to your thigh. Right arm can reach tall. It can also reach all the way over your head for a little extra extension. If it's over your head, think about reaching your fingertips as far from your right foot as possible. Rolling the right shoulder open. Here we are, side angle. One more rounded breath. Finish your exhale. And then we'll inhale to reverse, beginning our flow. On your exhale, side angle pose. Breath in, reach tall. Breath out, side angle. We've just got one more to go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side angle. Good. Here we are. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Lift the left arm tall, reverse triangle. You want to release everything in the left leg. That's a lot of work on one side. And then drop your left hand. Pivot your toes once again towards the side of your mat. Feet are just slightly outwards here of your heels. And then we'll go ahead and sink down one more time into this little squat here. Hands can come at the heart center. Sometimes it can be even a little more relaxing in the pose to bring your arms up, or take a mudra if that works for you too. Lotus breath is always an option too, so keep that in mind. And this lotus breathing technique, this meditative movement, can be done at your desk. It can be done at the kitchen table. It can be done in your bedroom. Any place we need to start bringing the mind and the body back together in sync, right? Last breath here. Exhale everything, and then inhale, reach beautifully tall. Open up, hands at the hips, lift your heart. Good. And then come back to center. This time, right toes in, left toes out. So we're coming back to our warrior two. Inhale, flip your right palm, reach. Exhale, cartwheel everything all the way down. Hold your plank. And then let's come down to a forearm plank. So elbows come underneath our shoulders. Slow and steady with the breath. Take one last breath in here. And then as you exhale, drop to your knees. Start to bring your hips over your heels for puppy dog pose. We're going to keep the hips over the knees. Rest the forehead down on your mat, and then you can start to reach your fingers and hands forward. We can release a little bit of tension here in the shoulders. If this doesn't work for you right now or today, child's pose is great. If that's the case, widen the knees, keep a bend in the elbows. Take one last round. And then on the inhale, we'll come up here to a tabletop pose. And let's come all the way upright into tall knees. So a knee stand. If you have a block, bring that handy. We'll take the block on the outside of the left thigh. If you don't have a block, a book, cereal box, something like that will work in this case, or even your water bottle just for some stability. Right leg is going to reach out away from the right hip. Right foot is going to be on the ground. And if you need a 45-degree angle your foot a little bit for stability, you can do that too. Right? Bring your arms all the way up overhead in this little modified knee stand here. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to lean over the right leg and drop the right arm to rest gently. So for anyone that ever wanted to be a ballerina, this might be as close as we get. Okay. We're opening the left side body, using our legs and core for control. We'll come back up to center, introduce a bit more movement. Breathe in deep. Exhale, tip right. Inhale up to center. Exhale, tip right. One more. Breathe in all the way up to center. Exhale, tip right. Arms come all the way up. Hands to your heart center. And here's where we'll come into a little modified side plank. So this block might be handy out on the other side of your left leg. We're going to rest our hand on that block. Lift the right arm nice and tall. If you are able to come lower, if it's working for you, you can do that by adjusting the block, or you can come all the way down to the ground. Once you get to where it feels best, let's go ahead and extend the right arm up and over. So we're making one line with our arm and our leg on the right side. Can you still breathe? All right, last round here. Finish your exhale completely, and then all core and inhale to bring you all the way back up to center. Let's switch our legs. From our tall knee stand, left leg will extend outwards now. Second and last chance here to be ballerina with your inhale. Reach up beautifully tall, maybe even a look up, and then exhale, tip left. Drop your left arm. Doesn't have to be anything dramatic. This is just all open side body sensation. Big breath. Breathe with your community. On your next inhale, let's bring everything up, flowing for 3 times. Exhale, tip to your left. Inhale, all the way tall. Exhale, tip left. Breath in, reach tall. Breath out, left. Good. Here we come all the way back up. Hands to your heart center. And let's move into that modified side plank here on the opposite side, whether with a block or without. Lift the left arm tall and then bring it all the way over the body. This side might be completely different. Every bit of our world is going into a new normal, and our bodies might do the same thing. So just honor that. Breathe deeper to open space. And give yourself a few moments to settle. Exhale everything. With your inhale, core and breath bring you all the way back up. And here we are in our knee stand. Move your block to the side. Let's take a child's pose. Release the low back a little bit. Knees are wide. Big toes might touch. Drop your heart. Drop your third eye center. Deep breaths here. Take a few more breaths in your child's pose. I was told yesterday that every day we should be letting ourselves release something that we consider normal, since we're in such a different place right now. So if you need to take a few breaths in your child's pose, release or let go of something that you would consider normal that isn't necessarily anymore, right? Like I have to get 5 miles in every day, or I have to make that phone call or that meeting. Times are different. Be gentle on yourselves. Always, always come back to breath. When you are ready, let's inhale up to tabletop. Knees come together, and let's come back to downward facing dog. Extend your legs long to plank. Hips lift tall. Downward facing dog. It is. Chance to reset, to lengthen everything from the hips, down the back of the legs, down the arms into fingertips. Shake out the head a few times if you need to. Take a breath in real deep. Open mouth, exhale. Don't be afraid to breathe. And breathe big and deep. Inhale. Leave it be. Breath in. And out. Once more. Inhale deep. Exhale. Bend your knees, look at your hands. Take a step all the way up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, mountain pose. Exhale, to heart center. So let's find hips width distance here. Root down through your heels, all four corners of the feet. Legs are engaged, belly's drawn in. And hands can be at your sides here. We'll shift weight into our left side gently and lift the right knee about hip height. And then to continue from here into figure four legs, right ankle on top of the left knee. Open that knee up. Hands can come to heart center if that works for you. And let's start to bend the left knee into our little figure four. This is how we're going to open our hips tonight and also build up some resilience while we balance. You can add on to this if you like by coming forward a little bit further and then moving this also into a twist. So right elbow is going to come rest inside the arch of the right foot. It may work, it may not. 2 more rounds of breath wherever you have landed on this side. Good, and then practice patience here. Let's undo the way we came in. If you've twisted, come back to center. Start to straighten the left leg, and then undo the ankle from the leg. Shimmy it out a little bit if you need to, and then we reset to get onto the other side, right? Just like Legos, build your foundation. When you feel strong here, shift weight. Left knee lifts. Left ankle on top of right knee. And then see what happens on this side. Start to bend. Keep the lifted foot flexed. And then decide what you want to do on this side. Perhaps you want to come forward and move into a deeper fold, or the twist, the left elbow into the arch of the left foot. Hands can press together, gaze is soft, breath is deep. One more round of breath. And now, steady as you go, undo bit by bit. Good. Yeah, get through that, you get through anything. Step up to the top of your mat here. Let's widen the feet and start to bend the knees into a yogi squat. Tailbone drops down towards the mat. We try and keep the torso a little bit lifted. Block under the booty might be the way to go today. Good. If you have a block underneath the booty, remove it here. And then from our yogi squat, we're going to have a little boat pose and sail off into the sunset. So it's not going to be very graceful because most of life isn't that graceful. So when you're ready, start to give yourself a little trust fall. We'll fall onto the booty, extend the legs out in front of us, and then hands reach out too. You have plenty of options here. The heels can come down onto the ground. Heart still stays lifted. Shins can be parallel with the ground, or you can extend the legs if that works. Trust that you can breathe easy in whatever posture you've chosen. I think this was a 90-minute class, right? No? Okay. Keep breathing. 2 more rounds. Last big inhale. And as you exhale, release all the way down to the ground. Bend your knees. Bring your feet wide part of your mat here, and then give yourself that little gentle release, moving the knees back and forth. Easy does it. We'll take one bridge pose to counter out our boat pose. So laying on your backs, bend your knees, bring your heels closer to your booty. Arms will be long at your sides. And then give your upper body just a little shimmy so that your heart's lifted. Your shoulders are what's supporting you in the upper body. And when you feel ready, you can go ahead and launch easy with an inhale. Breath in, start lifting the pelvis. Gaze stays straight up to the sky. And we're here for about 3 to 5 breaths, just depending on your own capacity today. Slow, deep, complete. Good. How about one last inhale? And then as you exhale, easy, bone by bone, start bringing your spine back down to earth. Once you get there, bring the bottoms of the feet together for a little Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. Knees open, hands can rest wherever feels best. For some, we like the connection of hand on belly, hand on heart, and we can start to trace our breath. For others, if you've warmed up, maybe arms overhead can feel a little bit better. And then just give yourself these few moments. Start to let things sink in. Notice what's going on in the face, space between the teeth, soft brow, focused breath. Stay as long as feels good for you. Otherwise, we'll guide the knees back up to center gently. Go ahead and give yourself a little hug today. Bring the knees up to the chest. Rock from side to side if you like. And then release the feet back down to the ground. Walk them out as wide as your mat. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, knees will fall over to your right for a gentle supine twist. You can keep your gaze up. You can look over your left shoulder. So long as breath is moving in freely, You're in a good place. And then use an inhale and engage your low belly to bring the knees back up to center. And as you exhale, knees can fall over to your left. With an inhale, bring your knees back up to center. Give yourself one more big squeeze. Send yourself some love. Share that love out with your community and the world if you can. And then let's take everything and give it a chance to really sink in. Turn into the observer as we move into our final rest, corpse pose, Shavasana. Legs might come out straight on your mat. Take up space between the legs, space between the arms and the torso, space between the chin and the chest. Everything can start to release. Breath can move into its own rhythm. Eyelids become heavy. These next few moments are all yours. Start to deepen your breath. As you deepen your breath, allow the movement to become natural as you start to reawaken in your space. Arms might reach long over the head. Knees may come into the chest. It's your choice. Take a big breath in and then let an exhale roll you to your right side gently. We'll pause here for a moment. A reminder that there's always plenty to be grateful for, so offer up a token of gratitude right here and now, maybe for your practice, maybe for your capabilities as both a yogi and a human being. And with some newfound energy, as you feel ready, start to bring yourself back up to Sukhasana where we started. Hands can come together in front of you or they can rest on your knees. Eyes can stay closed if that feels all right. We'll take a final breath together here as slow as we possibly can. So let's finish and exhale wherever you are. Breathe in through the nose. And then open the mouth and let it go. Let's bring our thumb knuckles up to our third eye center space. Together we'll bow forward together and close our practice. I bow to you. Namaste. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope it was great.